My name is Daniel, and this is To the One That Is Waiting. So there is both male and female waiting for the fulfillment of the promise of marriage. Understand and know this, that as you wait, be patient in your waiting. And as you're waiting patiently, learn to seek after God's presence the more. Because as He fills you with more of Him, He prepares you to be that wife or that husband to the one that He has called and set aside and ordained specifically for you. Because to the one that is waiting, don't grow impatient because the time seems as if it's grown long. Don't go chasing and pursuing after that which God has not specifically ordained for you. There is a standard that God has called all of us to live by. So to the one that is waiting, don't drop your standard because it seems to be what the world is doing. Don't settle for being comfortable with one that makes you comfortable when God has called you to be the wife or the husband to the one that will challenge you and help motivate you to grow spiritually. So to the one that is waiting, I pray with you that you do not grow impatient, but that you learn that in your waiting, God is perfecting your salvation so that when you meet the one that is called to be your spouse, that is called to be your partner in life, you don't make the mistake of telling them that they need to wait when God has already put into your spirit who it is that you should be listening. When you're hearing His voice, you'll know that it is His voice. And when He leads you to the one that He has called for you, it will be worth more than what the wait was worth. So in your waiting, be patient. And in your patience, seek the Lord for the perfecting of His will as you use your hands to do His will. So in your waiting, learn to perfect your praise and your declaration of faith because God is still building on you. And sometimes the molding process takes longer than we would like it to. But to the one that is waiting, please, I beg of you, don't grow impatient and begin to pursue after those that are not worthy of all that God has placed down inside of you. See, there is greatness that He has in store for you. And before you can achieve greatness, there are storms that you must make your way through. There are stumbling blocks that you must get over. There are problems that you must go through. There are places that you must go. There are things that you must let go. So when you're waiting, let God perfect your patience and your ability to depend on Him in your waiting. Trust that His faithfulness is remembered towards 1,000 generations. So if you are just patient in your waiting, God will bring to you the one that you've been searching for. So when you're waiting, learn to pursue the Lord. So when you pursue His will, He'll teach you how to yield and how to be the spouse that you need to be. Because you see, all of our lives are like puzzle pieces, only uniquely fitted to one position. We are not to be chameleons. See, we are one-of-a-kind creatures. We are one-of-a-kind children of God that He has specifically designed another to fit into, interlock into us like puzzle pieces. So that together we are strong. We are like hands clasped for so long in prayer. And the beauty of it is this. When we have learned to come together like this, like hands clasped together in prayer, we have learned to ultimately yield ourselves in the presence of God and give Him glory. Because it is Him that has brought us thus far. So when you're waiting, please, I beg of you, don't become impatient. Trust God that He is working in you while He is working out the salvation of the one He's called to be for you. And in your waiting, don't just be patiently pursuing after the will of God for you as an individual until He brings you the spouse that you've been searching for. Instead, begin to pray for that one that God has called to be specifically yours. Begin to break down those chains and those barriers and those stumbling blocks and those yokes and those generational curses that might be holding him bound or be holding you down. Because you see, you can help him or her break free before y'all even meet. And that's what will be the most beautiful story that you will ever be able to share with the spouse that you were searching for. That you prayed for them. Before you even met them, you were praying for them. That God would set them free from the things that had them bound. So when you're waiting, be patient. So when you're waiting, seek the Lord for a greater sense of salvation. So when you're waiting, Begin to pray for them. Pray that God brings deliverance unto them and that He manifests the gifts that He has called to be working in their lives so evidently so that they will know that it was you that God used to pray them through, to praise them out of the storms that they were faced with in life as they began to pursue to make you their husband or their wife. So when you're waiting, learn to be patient and let God work out salvation. Because in your waiting, your praise is made perfected, and the trials in yourself are destroyed, and you have overcome them and so much more. So don't just wait patiently. Don't just pursue salvation to a greater degree, and don't just stand there, but pray for them as you pray for yourself, and pray for the marriage that you desire to have. And God said that He would give us the desires of our heart when our ways please Him. So it's time that we not just wait patiently, but that we pray faithfully, that God will set them free and allow them to see the joy that of the salvation that He is able to give, so that when the two of you meet, you'll be like hands clasping together in prayer like you've done for so long until they were finally there. You'll be like hands lifted up before God, offering Him the sacrifice of praise. And in that you'll truly feel free. And that you'll feel the true embrace of love. Because when you've learned to pray, to praise, and to worship together even before knowing each other, you have built the foundation for God to instill greatness in the generations to come. So when you're waiting, to the one that is waiting, I beg of you, do not grow impatient. Do not grow tired of waiting. But instead, grow hungrier in prayer for the Lord to reveal His will and to bring the one that He has called to you to your attention. And not to mention that He will break the chains and destroy the yokes that have kept them bound, and just destroy the generational curses that might be preventing them from finding you or you from finding them. So when you're waiting, I beg of you, my brother and my sister, just be patient. My name is Daniel, and this has been In Your Waiting. I pray that this has been a blessing to you. Rate it, subscribe it, like it. You know what to do.